How we doing? Well, I think the number one thing that we need to focus on at this point in the season is, our quality of play, and that really starts with the discipline that, every player has to make the right choices and decisions relative to what he has to do his job and, playing winning football. I think, obviously the challenges that we have, in front of us, starting with Texas A&M, who is, a top 25 team, playing on the road, is going to take a lot of focus on our part, a lot of discipline on our part, and a lot of guys sort of, continuing to elevate their game and try to play better and better each week, as we, go through this season. I think A&M is played really, really well this year. They've got like 12 starters back. Jimbo does a really good job. They play really good on defense. They're one of the fifth or something in the SEC, give up less than 300 yards a game. Offensively, they've got really good receiving core, good running back, quarterback, Kellen Mond. Does a really, really good job of executing their offense. He's very capable of making every throw that he needs to make, as well as can make plays with his feet, as a runner. Got a good running back. So this is really a good all-around team. They've got their specialists back. They're very good on special teams. So this is going to be a very, very challenging game, for us in every way, shape, and form. Chris Owens is the only guy that has a little knee problem, who may be questionable, will be day-to-day and questionable for this game. So that's the only injury update that we have.
Coach, we'll start here with Michael. Where have you seen the most progress from the offensive line to this point?
I think that the offensive line has done a good job in pass protection, and I think we're going to need to continue that as we play against better defensive teams, better rushers. I think the big focus has been to finish blocks, finish plays, so that we can finish runs and create the kind of balance that we'd like to have, offensively. I think we've been pretty good at, getting a hat on a hat, but the big emphasis has been to try to finish, the defensive players. So that we can have more positive, runs. I'm not disappointed in any way, shape, or form with, the offensive line and the progress that they've made. But as every group on our team would say, there are obviously things that we could do better.
Coach, have you been able to start easing Will Reichard back into kicking the ball at all, or will that start this week? And also, would he punt if he were available, or how is that competition shaking out?
Well, he hasn't done anything for a couple of weeks, so today will be his first day where he will actually kick a ball. So we'll just have to evaluate that. That'll be day to day. There is competition at the punting position, but difficult to say right now whether he'll be capable of punting or what exactly his role can be in this game. Maybe he can kick, maybe he can punt, maybe he can't kick off. I really don't know at this point. We'll just have to evaluate it through the course of the week.
Back over here with Charlie.
You mentioned Kellen Mond. Just what impresses you most about him, and where have you seen him maybe improve the most since last year?
Well, he played really well against us last year. So, we have a lot of respect for him as a player. I think that, his sort of total understanding of what they're trying to do has, kind of enhanced his performance to some degree. I think the same receiver core pretty much that he had a year ago. I think those guys work well together, and, they've been able to have really good balance, on their offense in terms of run pass. And the quarterback runs, although they're sometimes limited, but actually hurt us last year in the game, are something that you always got to be concerned about with him at quarterback.
How do you think Raekwon has attacked the season, and has his play improved from what it was last year?
He has been very good. He's worked hard. Certainly tried to set a good example for some of the young guys that are playing around him. I've been pleased with his effort, and he was banged up. He had a little shoulder there. He didn't miss any time. I think that bothered him a little bit in the last game, maybe, but he should be healthy and ready to go. And I think he has played more consistently this year than a year ago.
Go back here on the right with James.
Going back to Kellen Mond with the issues with containing the quarterback in the last game, how did you kind of approach that throughout practice over the bye week, and just what kind of improvement did you see there?
Well, it's obviously something that we need to do better, and I think it's player awareness. We certainly try to do those things on a daily basis and try to emphasize those things on a daily basis, but it still comes down to that same word that we talked about earlier. Players have to be disciplined in doing their job, and if you're a contained rusher, you got to contain the quarterback. So you can't be coming underneath. You got to keep the proper leverage on the guy, give the opportunity to push the pocket in the middle, and that's something that we definitely have focused on and need to improve on.
Unless we've got any follow-ups, Tony.
Looking back at the bye week, how much improvement did you see from some of your freshman defenders, and were you able to kind of like drive stuff home with them?
Well, I don't think you can put everybody in a category. I think some guys made improvement who had the right mindset during the bye week. Other guys, we tried to push to get them to stay focused like they needed to. So in some cases we got some improvement. In some cases maybe. I think there's three things that happen in a bye week. You either make improvement because you have the right mindset, you're stagnant, you kind of stay the same, or you backslide. I mean, it's one of those three things, and I don't think you can categorize everybody and put them in the same category that everybody improved. I think some guys that had the right mindset improved, and some guys probably didn't get out of it what they could have.
We got a follow-up from James.
Last year, Texas A&M's punter won the Ray Guy, so he gets the publicity. But just like with a quarterback, there, that's a team effort. So, what do you see out of the design of their special teams?
Well, they're good on special teams. They're very well coached. They've got good team speed. Their specialists are both very experienced and very, very good. So it's going to be a challenge for us to, that sometimes when you have a really good punter, it creates opportunities for you too. So if we get opportunities, we've got to be able to take advantage of them because we executed well. I think, kickoff-wise, there's only been 3 returns all year long because they kick the ball in the end zone every time. So, if we get an opportunity on that, we got to be ready to take advantage of it. And I think that's pretty much the case in all phases, of the game. And obviously, we need our specialists to perform well in the game so that we have an opportunity to try to control the vertical field position based on, how our specialists and how our teams perform.
All right, Coach, that's all we got.
All right, thank you.